If you guys have seen my previous Fist of the North Star video, you'd pretty much already be well informed of the origins of the Hokuto no Ken manga, as well as the pilot two-shot manga that was made before the actual serialization in the Weekly Shonen Jump. For those of you that haven't seen that video, I pretty much explained the creation of Fist of the North Star, as well as its importance as an influence for later shonen manga down the line, like Dragon Ball, which would go on to be influential in its own right. Very soon, I'll go a lot more deeper about how Hokuto no Ken influenced Dragon Ball. But for right now, we're gonna focus on one real world similarity they both share. Not only were they both serialized in the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine, but both series would end up receiving anime adaptations by Toei Animation. Now I know how things stand today. People who are fans of Toei's works have a hate-love relationship with the company. The company has its flaws. It definitely does. It's made some decisions that pissed off a lot of people around the world, but not all of their flaws are inherently in their control. One thing they really can't do anything about is the lack of blood in their latest animations. Dragon Ball Super only depicts mere droplets here and there, but nothing compared to what the prior 3 Dragon Ball series displayed. Really, there's only one of their modern works that I could think of that has a raw amount of blood and violence, and that anime is One Piece. Even then, the violence in the anime is toned down compared to the manga. The reason Toei Animation has toned down their use of violence in their anime is mainly due to the time slots in which their shows air. Dragon Ball Super used to air on Sunday mornings in Japan. One Piece still airs on Sunday mornings. With such an early time slot, showing high levels of violence is a no-no. Dragon Ball aired on Wednesday nights back in the 80s and 90s. Naturally, Dragon Ball Super's violence would be toned down compared to Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. I'm sure you guys remember how violent Dragon Ball was. It was censored multiple times outside of Japan. Pretty fucking raw. Now, Fist of the North Star. That's a whole different ballgame when it comes to violence. I'd even say it's probably the most violent anime Toei has ever released. Fist of the North Star aired on Fuji TV from October 4th, 1984 to March 5th, 1987. The series would go on to last for 109 episodes. These episodes would go on to adapt 136 chapters from the original manga. Now, Hokuto no Ken's target audience was children, which is the reason it was featured in the Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. We know that there are series in the magazine that feature some heavy violence, Dragon Ball, Naruto. I want to say Bleach was really pushing it sometimes. We're familiar with the level of violence these manga usually portray. Fist of the North Star is just a different animal. I mean, this series is about a guy who makes people explode. That's his main ability. We have heads exploding, people being cut into pieces on sight. Someone once got their skeleton blown out from their body. This manga is a bloodbath. You would think this would be a seinen, but no, 80s kids in Japan were just built different. While the kids in the West were watching the Thundercats, the kids in Japan were watching some guy be forced to saw his friend's head off. Believe it or not, the Fist of the North Star manga was so violent, Toei had no choice but to censor it so it can air on television. The censorship wasn't to remove the violence entirely, which would defeat the purpose of the show, but to tone it down a bit. Kenshiro ends up killing 3 of Zed's men in the manga. As their heads explode, we can see their brains being blown from their skull. In the anime, the men become silhouettes before exploding. You get an idea of what's happening, but you don't actually get to see it. Sometimes the anime will show the victims actually exploding without the silhouette, but the blood would be desaturated, making it a glowing white color. Everyone bleeds milk in this anime. Even with all this censorship, the show was still incredibly violent. But enough with the blood and gore, let's talk about animation. This anime dropped in 1984. It was a TV anime. Yes, it was a weekly adaptation of a manga. Not looking too good, huh? This anime has a habit of reusing shots over and over again, and the aura looks weird. I'm not sure if this was considered bad in 1984, but I can't tell you that the animation of this anime does not take long to improve at all. It just looks better and better as you continue to watch. That's definitely a good thing. I think the only thing a modern viewer would have to worry about is about how aged the anime looks. There are some people who can only watch 90s anime upwards. Some people don't like looking at old shit at all, and that's understandable. Me, I can watch 80s and 90s anime no problem. Though I will say, Now watching Devilman and Cutie Honey got rather tedious after a while, but I don't think it's because of their aged appearance. It was mainly due to their episodic nature. Dororo, which was released in 1969, turned out to be far more entertaining for me due to it having an actual story with actual progress. Episodic shows get boring after a while. It's the same shit happening over and over and over again, just to different motherfuckers. Hokuto no Ken sort of suffers from episodic episodes, but that's part of a bigger problem I'll touch up on in a bit. Fist of the North Star has pretty decent animation. If you look past its age and absorb what's happening in the story, you'll definitely enjoy it more. Speaking of story, let's talk about the episodic episode problem. This is something commonly seen in Monster of the Week anime. Sailor Moon, for example. An enemy causes trouble. An enemy pulls up, causes trouble. Usagi transforms into Sailor Moon. Uses special attack. Defeats villain with purity. Episode over. Yes, I hate to admit it, but Fist of the North Star does suffer from this. This isn't due to the actual story being ass, but something else. Remember what I said earlier? The Fist of the North Star anime ran weekly alongside the manga. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, but Fist of the North Star suffers from filler. In order to give the manga story time to progress, the anime would make up stories in order to delay the anime's advancement so the manga has more time to develop. While filler is frowned upon, Fist of the North Star filler kinda works. The filler episodes work as expansions to the main plot instead of being its own story. Basically, the filler easily fits well with the actual canon material, and it doesn't disrupt the flow of the story at all. If anything, it just lengthens it a bit. I'm not defending the filler though. You've got your good episodes, you've got your bad episodes, filler is gonna fill. At least it's better than Naruto filler. Out of all of the 152 anime episodes, Fist of the North Star only has 20 episodes of filler. Now I'm gonna try to talk about the music in the show without catching a copyright claim. So here we go. The first opening, Ai wo Torimodose, or Take Back the Love, was performed by Japanese rock band Crystal King. This is no Chala Head Chala, but it's pretty damn fucking close. Don't be mistaken, this song is pretty fucking huge in Japan. It's known for its refrain, "You are shock!" making the song both memorable and iconic. Hell, Josh Barnett used this song for his entrance during the Pride Fighting Championship back in 2015. The song has many covers made by different people and bands. It's been around for a while. Choose your pick or rock out to the original. Yuria, Ayani. I hope I didn't fucking butcher that because it is called Yuria, Eternally. This was the first outro and was also performed by Crystal King. During this outro, we get to see how the world looked before the nuclear war. Nice views of nature that I frankly believe is taken for granted today. Go touch some grass before we run out of it. Now both intros and outros have two versions, maintaining the same song but changing the visuals as you progress through the series to match what's currently happening in the story. The second intro, Silent Survivor, was performed by the Komodo Band. This song isn't as upbeat as Ai wo Torimodose, and for good reason. The intro focuses on Kenshiro reflecting on his many fallen comrades as he walks to face off against his greatest adversary, Rao. The second outro, Dry Your Tears, was also performed by the Komodo Band. The outro showcases the forest at nighttime. The sun slowly rises as the song finishes, giving us a clearer view of the forest. Another view of an earthly beauty that no longer exists due to war. Now the anime soundtrack is pretty interesting. If you watched my previous Fist of the North Star video, you'd know that Kenshiro's character was partially inspired by Bruce Lee. Hell, you don't even have to watch my video to see that. After you watch the first episode, it automatically hits you. Kenshiro is anime Bruce Lee. His appearance, the way he fights, his mannerisms during combat, it's all Bruce Lee. So it was surprisingly fitting that the music on the anime would aim to emulate the type of music you'd hear during a Bruce Lee movie. Later Hokuto no Ken properties mainly feature on heavy metal and rock soundtracks, but the music in this anime is inspired by the music you'd hear in 70s kung fu films. All in all, I think Fist of the North Star as an anime, no, as a franchise overall, deserves more recognition. The same recognition that Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon received. Hokuto no Ken is a legendary franchise that is unfortunately slept on due to it not being as popular in English-speaking territories. Like I said before, if you are a hardcore Dragon Ball fan, I think you'll definitely appreciate what Fist of the North Star has to offer.